Welcome back to the best book ever. I hope you had a truly memorable Christmas for all the right reasons. We're continuing our series looking at the events surrounding Jesus' birth. Now, looking at the events following that memorable day. Let's begin with Luke chapter 2, verse 21, and what happened when Jesus was only 8 days old. When the 8th day arrived, the day of circumcision, the child was named Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was conceived. I know circumcision is not something normally spoken about. This verse is important though, because it proves, as if we needed any more proof, that Jesus is a real Jew, under the Abrahamic covenant and obliged to obey the Jewish law as recorded by Moses. Long ago, before I realized Jesus is actually a Jew, I knew it was important to understand the Old Testament, the Jewish scriptures, in order to gain a fuller understanding of the new books many Christians focus on. Realizing Jesus is a Jew and the Jewish Messiah they have spent generations waiting for only emphasizes the importance of understanding the older books and using them as the foundation from which to understand the new ones. But back to Jesus' story. He's only 40 days old and about to have some important encounters. Let's read Luke chapter 2, verses 22 to 38. Then, when the days stipulated by Moses for purification were complete, they took him up to Jerusalem to offer him to God, as commanded in God's law. Every male who opens the womb shall be a holy offering to God, and also to sacrifice the pair of doves or 2 young pigeons prescribed in God's law. In Jerusalem at the time, there was a man, Simeon by name, a godly man, a man who lived in the prayerful expectancy of help for Israel. The Holy Spirit was on him. The Holy Spirit had shown him that he would see the Messiah of God before he died. Led by the Spirit, he entered the temple as the parents of the child Jesus brought him in to carry out the rituals of the law. Simeon took him in his arms and blessed God. God, you can now release your servant. Release me in peace, as you promised. With my own eyes, I've seen your salvation. It's now out in the open for everyone to see. A God-revealing light to the non-Jewish nations, and of glory for your people, Israel. Jesus' father and mother were speechless with surprise at these words. Simeon went on to bless them and said to Mary, his mother, "This child marks both the failure and recovery of many in Israel, a figure misunderstood and contradicted. The pain of a sword thrust through you. But the rejection will force honesty, as God reveals who they really are." Anna, the prophetess, was also there, a daughter of Phanuel from the tribe of Asher. She was by now a very old woman. She had been married 7 years and a widow for 84. She never left the temple area, worshipping night and day with her fastings and prayers. At the very time Simeon was praying, she showed up, broke into an anthem of praise to God, and talked about the child to all who were waiting expectantly for the freeing of Jerusalem. Jewish women, following the birth of a child, were considered unclean until they had been purified. The ritual of purification following the birth of a son occurred 40 days after the birth. This was also when the son would be presented to God or dedicated to his service all the days of his life. The fact that they took with them 2 birds proves that the family were very poor and that the shepherds did not give Jesus a lamb on the day of his birth. Let me explain. In Leviticus 12, verses 6 to 8, the people were commanded to bring a lamb and a pigeon or dove as offerings following the birth of any child. Only if they could not afford the lamb and did not have access to one could they substitute the lamb with a second bird, as Mary and Joseph did. The idea that the shepherds had given Jesus a lamb has been popularized by nativity plays and that famous carol, "If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb." But that version can't be true. Apart from the fact lambs cost a lot of money, and the shepherds would have been required to pay for the missing animal, the Bible clearly states that the shepherds ran to see Jesus. They went quickly and in haste. They wouldn't have thought to bring a gift and would not have been able to run if they had decided to bring a lamb with them. Also, if they had given Jesus a lamb, Mary and Joseph would have kept it, knowing it would be needed for sacrifice in just over 5 weeks. While they were in the temple, 2 old prophets recognized Jesus as Messiah. First, Simeon recognized and blessed the baby, prophesying over the family. And then Anna declared the truth to everyone who would listen. Did you realize that in his song of praise, Simeon referenced 3 messianic passages from Isaiah? And the last one is a paraphrase of the ones Jesus himself quoted when he started preaching. Compare Isaiah 42 verse 6 to Isaiah 61 verses 1 to 2. See how similar they are. When Simeon spoke to Mary, he was simply reminding her of the messianic prophecies. Or was there something more specific and prophetic? Given what happened later in Jesus' life, many think this was a specific prophecy given to Mary. Certainly, love for Jesus has caused division, rising and falling of people and nations. He has been spoken against, and still is, and through him every secret will be revealed. Anna reacts differently to Simeon. Where Simeon prophesies, Anna preaches. We know more about her background than we do about what she said. She was the daughter of Phanuel, married 7 years, and widowed servant of God in the temple well into her old age. As an aside, Wikipedia says Phanuel means face of or facing God, meaning Anna was the child of one who lived facing God. Don't you love these hidden gems? In the culture of the day, it was believed that only those blessed of God lived a long time. There's even a verse in Proverbs blessing those who have grey hair for the righteous life. Do you know someone with grey hair? Or indeed no hair? How can you bless them today? My grandparents loved to talk, passing on their years of wisdom, anecdotes, and mistakes. I wish I'd spent more time listening while I had the opportunity. Next week, we're skipping forward 1.5, 2 years. Can you guess what's next? In the meantime, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this clip with all your contacts. Then go over to the companion extract from my new book, The Lent Challenge. It's the last extract you're getting, so I hope you're ready to take up the Lent Challenge this Lent. See you next time. God bless you. Bye.